Hi, it's the tiny one / Beishi. And originally I was going to post another video. Today I did a Q&A video on my Facebook Live, and I did a Ask Me Non-Cosplay questions, but the questions actually kind of dipped into cosplay related stuff, but I was going to do that video, but as I was going through my nights, I started remembering some couple of interesting work incidents back when I used to work that I did with another person who I worked with on a couple of different jobs. And I thought, hey, I haven't done a story time on this channel for a while, so let's do a story time video. And I'm still a bit sick. If you watched my cosplay Q&A on Magical Cosplay Duel, you know that I just started to fall apart at the end of the video, and I had to end it. My feed also started falling apart with the audio, and that's because for some reason, Facebook Live likes to make my phone overheat. And when it overheats, it screws up with the audio, sometimes with the video. So I think maybe if I make my Facebook Lives maybe like 20 minutes long, it'll be okay. But we'll see. Anyways, I will post my non-cosplay related / cosplay related Q&A that I did on this channel at a later date, maybe in the next day or so. Unless I get my bow candy box, then it'll be later. But, excuse me. For now, you get this video. So, originally we got our first job, what should I call him? I like to refer to him as Big Show or Big Slow sometimes because he's huge, like the wrestler, the Big Show. So, let's just call him Big Show. And so anyways, me and Big Show, we originally went through a temp agency, and they hooked us up with this one, they hooked us up at this one job that was actually a factory type job. We were supposed to, I don't want to say the name of the company, even though it's probably not relevant. I'm not big enough YouTuber that you guys would find the company and spam it or whatever, but I just won't say the name of the company. Anyways, what they were doing is they were packaging out, we had to package out computer software to for one of the big name computer names, and we had to put out software for them in the packaging with shrink wrap and all that. So we actually lived about maybe 45 minutes away from the job site, and so we had to get up super early in the morning, drive to the job site, and then drive back. It was nice to get off early, and I think we got off early enough that we could beat traffic back home. The only issue is having to get up so early. It was ridiculous. And which means we would have to go to bed. We would have to go to bed like right after dinner. And there's no late night gaming for me or nothing like that back then. Anyways, it was kind of crazy because there were some days that, okay, Big Show has this strange ability. He can function while asleep. I could tell he was asleep, but other people just thought he was not distracted. They thought he was distracted or something, you know. There have been a couple of times when we would go late to, I mean not late, I have to go early in the morning to this one job site in particular, where I would catch him driving asleep. There are a few other times where I would be on, I would be, helping to assemble one part of a package, and he would have to be pulling loads with the not the forklift, the, what is it, not the dolly, it's the thing, I feel so stupid. It's the thing where it helps you move pallets, but it's not the big machine, it's like the handheld thing. You slip the prongs into where the pallet is, and then you can move the pallets all over the place. That's what he would do. There were a couple times that the people, the other employees would yell at him because, okay, let me put it to you, they were a little more lenient with me because I wasn't white, and he is, and so they would be a bit tougher on him. Kind of, yeah, that's just how it was, because a lot of them were Asian, I think. Yeah. And so they just saw him as the big, dumb, slow one, pretty much. It was ridiculous. Another time, so yeah, he would sometimes move loads around while asleep. How he didn't bump into anything, I have no idea. He would even load pallets at times while asleep. It was ridiculous. Another time, we would be on the assembly line together. We'd be opposite of each other, and we would be talking back and forth, laughing, whatever, but we would get we would be able to assemble our little packaging just fine, yet we were moving too fast for the rest of the people on the line, and so they wanted us to stop talking. Really? Everybody else is able to talk to each other, and them talking to each other causes them to move slower. It was ridiculous. So when we kept moving too fast for them, even though we tried to slow down, they would separate us, and I would still be moving too fast for them. It's like they didn't want their product to be packaged up and shipped out or something. That was a ridiculous job. I kind of hated working at that job, and I was so glad it was over. Another job that we worked at that was pretty funny and pretty fun was we worked for one of, again, not gonna say its name, we worked for one of the major, we worked in one of the departments for a major department store. We worked in the repair departments. I worked in the office. I did the paperwork. I did the computer work. I was the one that was calling customers and would say, hey, this is wrong with your machine. You don't have insurance on it. It's going to cost this, this, and this amount. Are you going to pay it, or do you want us to send back the machine, or do you want us to trash it? Whatever. If they said, yes, go ahead and fix it, I would have a big stack of papers. I would write, fixed, whatever. And I would then walk it out to where the repair technicians were. And Big Show was one of the repair technicians. He worked on, I don't know if this would, he worked on the outside gardening stuff, like chainsaws, lawnmowers, weed whackers, that sort of thing. And there were times it'd be funny because he had horrendous writing. Like, I used to joke with him, he wrote like a doctor without the PhD. But I could decipher his writing. Other people in the office, I don't know if they were just lazy or if they didn't, or if they really couldn't read his writing, but a lot of times I would have one of the other ladies in the office have a stack of Big Show's paperwork. There was one that she would just slam it down on my desk. She was comical about it, but it was just so funny. Just boom, all of a sudden paperwork in front of me, and she says, "Go take care of it." So I would have to go out into the repair center, and I would get, of course, all his other coworkers would be like, "Oh, you're in trouble. Oh, look who's coming." Me, little tiny person, he's like this great big huge tall guy, and I'm this little itty bitty person, going up to him with a stack of paperwork, and I would stand there, and I'd put it on his workbench, and I'd be like, "You need to fix this. The ladies can't do it." Like, granted, I could have taken all his work and inputted it myself into the computer, which is what we were doing with these work orders. But these were these were from stacks that other people had taken. And so that was their responsibility. I had my own stack of paperwork that I dealt with. But it had to be legible. It couldn't be chicken scratch. It couldn't be the scribbles of a 2-year-old, So I would have to sit there and watch him rewrite his numbers, the condition of the device he was working on, what parts it would need, etc., all that. And it was actually pretty fun working. We would be able to have lunch together. There was a lunch wagon that would come out, and we would get stuff off the lunch wagon and then eat together. And then we would go home. He would go home a bit early because he would go in earlier than I would. But it was still fun to have someone that I could get along with and work together with. And yeah. And of course there were silly stuff that would happen. Like there was a guy that we knew named, his name was Craig. I think I can be okay with saying his name. And the big joke, because Craig was black. And so the big joke that people would do just randomly, and it was not just Big Show, because Big Show was a jokester, it was everybody in that whole little department. They would randomly like to piss Craig off because they would walk by Craig, and they would be like, "Craig, how you get fired on your day off, Craig?" If you get the reference, then you know why it's funny. And he would just get so mad and just so like, because, the first couple times, I think he thought, "Oh yeah, that's funny. It's a funny reference, blah, blah, blah." But then when more people kept doing it and doing it and doing it, I can see how it got kind of old. I never did it to him, but I know Big Show was a big culprit of it all the time. But yeah, those are just two incidents where I got to have someone that I worked with back before I was on disability, back when I really could work, and it was a person who made work actually fun, and it was fun to go into work with him. It was fun to work with him. Oh, there was another incident where we used to work at a video store. I think I can say the name of the video store because the video store is now out of business. I have quite a few stories from that. It's called Cone's Video. Now, as far as I know, Cone's Video only existed in Fremont, California, and there was like two different, there was two locations for Cone's. I feel like I'm getting a hole in my sock. And, of course, it was a video store. Of course, people could rent out videos. You can rent out video games. But these were like the old, huge cartridge-type video games for like Nintendo and Sega Master System and Super Nintendo and that sort of cartridges. Not the little tiny cartridges or the little discs that we have now. And Cone's was actually a pretty fun place to work. Granted, our boss was horrible. Thankfully, she was barely in. And we mainly worked, even after I had to stop working there, and Big Show was mainly working the night shift, it was still fun to go in there and just chill and relax. If there were no customers, because late at night the customers wouldn't be there, so I could just say, hey, can you put on blah blah blah, whatever movie, and then either I would be able to like chill. And a friend and I used to go to the way back of the video store and lay down and have one of the video screens. We could lay down and watch one of the video screens of a video that we were choosing. We used to have a assistant manager who was really cool and a friend of ours, who would sometimes put on Celebrity Deathmatch when it was late at night, or sometimes they would put on a video just for me to relax, because like I said, it was a long commute back home and to the video store, and so I would sometimes get a video that people would put on for me in the kids room, the private little kids viewing area. And of course it was mainly like cartoons, or one like Jurassic Park or something. Was Jurassic Park back then? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, so yeah, it was nothing too bad. Like, it wasn't Celebrity Deathmatch. But yeah, that was another fun place that we used to work at. And, of course, there was one incident. It was during, I remember it clearly, it was during one of the years that BMD was going on. And it was a big concert. I forget exactly where it was, but they had like multiple bands going on and all that stuff. And I would be in between breaks. I would go into the car and I would listen, because they were doing live broadcasts for the one of the local radio stations. And Big Show decided that he wanted to go home. And we were working at the other store, the smaller store. And he had actually had an injury while we were working, because the smaller store had this overhang. And I don't know, it was weird. It was like an arch that you can go through to go back into the back where the other videos were, to get videos for a customer. And he was a bit too tall for this arch. And so, and unbeknownst to us, until it actually happened, the arch had a nail sticking down from the little... The arch was supposed to be carpeted, but it had nails sticking down anyways. And he bashed his head open right here on the nail. But we had one of the ruder assistant managers who didn't let us go home. Well, Big Show decided he was done. He was done. He wanted to go home. My shift was going to be over soon. And his shift still had a bit to go. And so, because they wanted him to work a double for some reason, not me. Anyways, he decided he was going to go home. Nobody was listening to him. He was starting to get a headache. He was done. And of course, he didn't want to be still walking around with like the injury on his head. And he thought it was stupid having the bandage on. So we had these old registers, and if you didn't do if you didn't input the proper code in the registers, the register would freeze. So he took the register here. Let me see. Okay. And he took the register and he just started bashing the keys. Bash, bash. Like at least 3 or 4 keys that time. And the register started to make a high-pitched whine noise. And it wouldn't stop. And then it froze. And the assistant manager that was there, I think he kind of like knew what Big Show is doing, and he's like, oh, no, 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 you can't do that, you still need to blah, blah, blah. You know, he thought he could fix the register, and then he'd be like, ha ha, I have one on you, type thing. But no, he couldn't get the register to stop. I think even at one point he used his key to turn it off, and then turn it on again, and it still had the high-pitched noise sound. And so, as a result, we were both able to leave. Well, he was able to leave early. I left on time. But yeah, it makes for a good story. I think I'm able to tell these type of stories. I don't know. If later on he says, hey, can you take that down, blah, 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 I'll take down this video. But for now, you got those three funny stories, three funny stories of when I used to work with the guy that I know as Big Show, among other things. And for those of you who are wondering, this is my shirt. Oops. Okay. Yes, it is a skull. It's one of my favorite shirts. I actually got this from the Junk Boy. And it's got, it's a skull, but it's got bats. I don't know if you can see. It's got bats, and then it's got spiders that form the shape of a skull, and they're all nicely pretty colored. And they even got sparkles on them, and it's just so really cool. And it's even, like, around here, you can see the little spider webbies. And it's one of my favorite shirts, and it makes me so sad that I am limited now on my Facebook that I can't post spider pictures anymore. I can only like spider pictures I see in the spider group that I've been a part of, because too many people are afraid of spiders now that I've friended, and it's sad. Oh well, at least I still have Tumblr to post spider pictures, and of course I also have a Facebook page that's dedicated to horror and things like that, so I can post spider pictures on there, and people actually like it. But anyways, I think that's all for now. I think my voice is going. At least that was three interesting short little stories. Well, it's 23 minutes almost, but little stories about me and a former coworker of mine. So yeah, I actually do have more videos of when we used to work at the video store, but I'll share those at later dates. And I also have other stories about when I used to work at the repair center. That's all I'll say, the repair center. But yeah. So anyways, thank you for watching my video. Ooh, my light is going in and out in different shades. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay happy, everybody. Bye. Remember, if you... Oh, I'm doing it in backwards order. If you like my videos, go ahead and hit subscribe. Hit the like button. Share with your friends. All that stuff. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh. Spiders.